Question everything, trust nothing, except your boy CryptoKeeper. Hopefully everybody is doing well today. What is today? Today, Thursday. These days start to run together. Yes, it's Thursday, July the 11th. And your boy Keeper is just getting after it. I am a busy individual, but glad to be here streaming with you today. Let's see here. Let's jump into the chat. Let's start off with that and see who's up in here. Patriot Caveman, every day, letting you guys know he's calling for rate cuts. And you know what? I'm seeing some information that might support that theory. So we will find out. Let's see here. What else? Captain Crypto in the house. Cheers. That wasn't my coffee mug. Hold on, let's try this again. That was my water. There we go. That was my cafe, my coffee. Good to see you today. Bit by Bitcoin. That's really hard to say. Bit by Bitcoin. Why is any of this a surprise? Well, I don't know what the surprise would be. Are we talking about Donald Trump speaking at Bitcoin Nashville? Super excited about that. I will get into that if that's the question you're asking. Enrique has an announcement. He's going to have a major surgery done. I'm going to have his spine removed. All it was doing was holding me back. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Enrique. Always keeping me on my toes with the good dad jokes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Bit by Bitcoin says we don't need Trump and rate cuts to happen regardless. Hold on a second. We don't need Trump and rate cuts have to happen regardless. God, I can't even read today. Inflation is falling like a rock. Hey, listen, I know we don't need Trump, but it's not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing to have a presidential candidate talking about Bitcoin, right? Keep stacking Bitcoin, keep doing your thing. That's never been a question. We always talk about stacking Bitcoin because that's what we're here always trying to do, or at least that's what I'm trying to do. Stack as much Bitcoin and alts, depending on what they are, as humanly possible. Make as much money as humanly possible. Sit on a beach drinking an old-fashioned as soon as possible and having nothing to do. However, that's not how I operate. I speak of that, but it won't ever happen because I'll continue to work. I actually enjoy being busy and working, though I do enjoy owning my own businesses and being able to decide when and where I travel, which that's never going to change. I will never work for someone again. Negative ghostwriter. That's it. Enrique, last thing I'm going to jump into the chat. Inflation falling means our money is becoming worthless more slowly. Yeah, money is an issue. That's why we're talking about crypto. That's where the whole crypto narrative came from. It was like, hey, our money is jacked up. We've got to figure out a solution that takes us outside of governmental control. And it's the main reason I believe that we have the government, the SEC, always pressing against crypto as a whole, right? There's no other reason, because they could benefit greatly from the crypto space, financially as well. But the worry is, well, wait a minute. It's like they're not willing to give away the control to bring in the money. That's really what it comes down to. They're not willing to give up control to bring in the money because the control in their eyes is more valuable to them than the money, because they can manipulate things. If we are using the US dollar, much harder to manipulate when you use a decentralized asset in an ecosystem like the Bitcoin ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? AI Griff in the house. Good to see you. And Clay the Great doing the right thing. Smashing that like. He's here. He is in this biatch. So glad to see you, Clay the Great. All right, let's take a look at the markets. Let's take a look at the charts. See what's popping off over there. The global crypto market caps, as always. We'll start with that. If I can pull it up and update it. Drum roll, please. There we go. $2.238 trillion with a T dollars. That's $80 billion of trading volume over the last 24 hours. So we're getting a little bit of volume. That's good to see. Bitcoin, 57,620, sitting pretty flat on the hourly, the daily, and the 7-day. Let's check out ETH. Sitting pretty flat on the hour, daily, 7-day. It's almost as if they're waiting for their signal to buy or to sell. BNB, pretty flat. Solana, pretty flat. Up a couple percent, but still pretty flat. USDC, thank God, pretty flat. Guys, are we noticing a trend here? All right. Toncoin, pretty flat. All right, I'm done doing the pretty flat thing. Let's check in on the daily Caspa. Caspa's up 1.2%. Oh, yeah. Like I said, pretty flat. Okay, I'm kidding. That's the last time I actually will do that. Yeah, we see what's going on in the markets. Not a whole lot. I'm sure with the crypto bubbles, it's going to be looking about the same. VeChain, however, not pretty flat, up 15.6%. I'm tired of talking about VeChain if it doesn't pump. VeChain, I'm putting you on notice as the VeChain Vice Lord, right? I'm putting you on notice. If you don't start or continue from here to pump, I might take you off of my daily, check-in. So, I'm sure VeChain's pretty worried about if Keeper is talking about them on a daily basis. So hopefully they being put on notice will listen, So, all right, the crypto bubbles. Check this out. Overall, nothing crazy happening. Obviously, there's some moves. VeChain up 4.6%, Filecoin up 6.8%. OM, whatever the heck that is, it's not OF. I can tell you that. 17.5%. Aave up 7.2%. And nothing heavily down. The biggest thing I see down in the markets right now is Tau, and it's down 5.2%. I don't see any. No, I'm sorry. Render. 5.8%. Well, a quick scan, that looks like the largest loser of the bunch. Let's start off with Bitcoin. Hold that thought. Yep. Boom. All right. So I have got a volume profile pulled from Monday, July the 1st. And look what we are doing. What do you know? Playing around with that point of control. I told you guys we've been rotating this range. We continue to rotate this range. We go from, just below 60K, boom, 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 boom. Now we dipped through here. This was the big dip right here, down to 53.8, but came back into the range, almost like we talked about yesterday, touched, point of control, back down, bottom of the range, point of control, down, bottom of the range, point of control, point of control, point of control, top of the range. Just kidding. Back down to the point of control, point of control, point of control, top of the range, point of control. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what the volume looks like. And I got to tell you, the fun part, the good part about this is that if you are a trader, if you know anything about trading, ranges are your friend. You just need to know how to actively play them, right? Too many times people are like, I want these huge moves in trading. Now, a huge move is great. But usually, if you've been in crypto for any amount of time, the huge move, when it happens, it just, boom, it just hits. So either you happened to be in a position or you weren't. And if you're an inexperienced trader, you then try to chase, right? You see the pump, oh my gosh, I got to get in, I got to get in. Don't do that. That is not responsible. And most of the time, you will lose chasing. So yeah, if we can stay between this 50 and 60K range, I got to tell you, I agree with CryptoFace. It is going to be bullish for our people out there who are good at trading. Some sort of predictability happening is nothing but bullish for our trading portfolios. So I'm not mad about it. Obviously I want to see us back at all-time highs and well beyond, but that might take a little bit of time. That might take the ETH ETF coming up. That might take the Mt. Gox stuff to finalize itself, to finish itself out. Maybe the news on the German Bitcoin starts to slow down. There's a lot of different things that, we could use in the crypto space that would be good. Obviously, if Patriot Caveman's right, rate cuts will be obviously huge. If we get the information that rate cuts are actually going to happen, that'll be very big and very bullish, super bullish. Patriot Caveman, check your Telegram, bro. I don't know if you saw my my message at the stream, but check your Telegram. I finally took a look and saw, for whatever reason, yours was like way down on my list, and I don't really know why. I get a lot of messages there, but for whatever reason, it took me a minute to see it. So, yeah, check your Telegram. I responded to what you had asked me about. Let's check in on ETH. Pull back the chart again. Bada bing, bada boom. ETH is at 31.23, and look at the range that ETH has been in. Literally from almost a little bit less than 32, effectively down to 29. 29 to 32. Nice big fat range. That's at least for the last, what, 7 days, week or so. Because I think today is the 11th. This is back from the 4th of July. You know, if you notice this area right here, I'm going to show you guys something. The 4th of July is this right here, 4th and 5th of July, right there. Boom, that huge candle. I talked about this a couple days ago. It's the illiquidity in the markets on holidays. It's not people, it's not actually it ends up being a big move, but it's not actually because there's some massive amount of volume. It's the exact opposite. And so a lot of times now that we have the institutions in play, they look for these opportunities like, oh, it's Christmas. Oh, we're going to pump this thing to the moon, or we're going to dump this thing to the floor, right? It's 4th of July. Heck yeah. Everybody's playing with fireworks, blowing fingers off. Let's go ahead and blow their portfolio out of the water too. And let's go ahead and dump that baby down, down, down. So pay attention on those types of days. The reason that happens is the lack of liquidity and the lack of active movement in the markets on those days. So it doesn't take nearly as much to press it one direction or another. Let's check out CASPA. How's CASPA looking? CASPA range bound as well. You know, we haven't in any of these charts that I've showed you, we haven't been seeing large moves outside of these ranges, right? But they all happened right around the 4th and 5th of July. The 4th and 5th of July, again, on CASPA. Boom. Where's the 4th of July? The 4th of July to 5th of July. Yep, that right there. Same thing. Same exact thing, just a different asset. Checking on Toncoin. Toncoin, same thing. Go to 4th of July. Boom. Bing, bang, bong. Down well below the value area low and then coming right back up into the range. Now, one of the things that you can do, I want to throw this out there with, as it were, with trading, when you have a holiday, somebody actually introduced this to me. When you have a holiday with that big move, pulling a volume profile off of it, using something like, let me pull this back up, using something like Market Cipher, right? If we look back to the 4th, check this out. Right at the bottom, this is on an hourly, but right effectively at the bottom of the candles on the 5th, right? We get a green dot on the momentum wave, money flow turning back around. That combined with the fact that we are in a holiday, well, I guess that's the day after the holiday, whatever. But the big move just happened. Check that range. Where is that range? And usually, if you look back historically, I'd have to pull a bunch of charts. I looked at this earlier, but I didn't want to pull them all up. Historically, what you could do is figure out where the range is for that couple week period, maybe even that month period. Follow that thing, let it do its thing, let it move to where it moves. And then you can either short or long that from that turnaround point. And if you want to be more safe, if you're longing, just tap out at the value area low. If you want to be a little more risky, maybe you wait for it to hit the value area low and see if it goes up to the point of control. Maybe even it rotates the whole range. Depends on what your trading strategy is. But on the other side, if you're going to short all the way back down, if we have a huge Christmas pump or something like that, same thing, just in the opposite direction. Short it down to the value area high. Maybe you're a little bit riskier. Short it down to the point of control, whatever. But the big move is almost always followed with a move back towards. It's almost like a magnet. There's value area high to low or point of control. That's why I love volume profiles. It's just historically where it's at. People are buying and selling at certain points. So they're also going to be taking profits, getting in or out of positions at those same points. It just makes sense. That part to me makes sense with trading. There's a lot of other indicators. There's pattern formations, et cetera, that people trade off of that I'm not as big of a proponent of. I like using some of the indicators. I like the oversold and overbought. I think that's huge. I think that's really freaking important. I like using, the fear and greed index. I think you can counter trade that sometimes. There's just so many different strategies that you can use in trading to win. So figure out what works best for you. But that's just a little hint on something that I had been showed regarding holidays that I wanted to pass on to each and every one of you. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, thank you for asking. I will tell you. I want to talk about a hack that happened and how you can avoid or possibly avoid the same thing happening to you. I want to start getting into, when we talk about these news articles, I want to start doing a little small breakdown of the article and giving you some ways to effectively really use the information. Like I told you, a lot of times these articles are paid for, et cetera. I want you to understand the value behind the information that I'm putting out there. You guys come here, hopefully, because you feel like I provide value or entertainment. I'm fine with that too, right? I'm fine with being entertaining, but or just because I'm so damn good looking. I get it. You know what I mean? It's the glasses. You know, it's the glasses, the hair, and the beard. I get it. I get it. So whatever reason you're here, right? I want to provide value for you. We're also going to talk about the SAB 121 bill. That's really important in the government. And then we're going to talk about the recession, right? And obviously, Donald Trump speaking at the Bitcoin conference. So all of those things are going to be happening. If you haven't smashed that like already, make sure to do that. Let me run a text across the bottom of the screen here real quick. Trading Wars Season 5, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday. So if you are not around next Monday, you snooze, you lose, make sure that you're here. And if you want to use my link, it is down below in the description. But what I want to do is I'd love to meet some of you. So I want to remind everybody the Bitcoin conference is the 25th through the 27th. Hold that thought, in Nashville. Yes, technically it's the 25th through the 27th. I'll be there longer than that. There'll be the parties and the other things surrounding the event going on, outside of those dates. But that's technically the dates in Nashville. I've got a link to save y'all some money if you want to use that down below the stream. I would love to meet you guys. And if you are going to go there, hit me up on Telegram. Hit me up on TG. It is at spelled out, The Real CryptoKeeper. Hit me up and let me know, hey, it's so-and-so from YouTube or so-and-so from X, wherever you're watching. And let me know if you'd like to link up, maybe have a bite to eat or something. I don't know. I'm totally down. I like meeting people that watch the show. So if you guys are around the Nashville area or you want to pay for a flight or whatever you want to do, I shall be there. I will be there. Caffeinated, pulling up a good point. I'm not going to have this beard for long. Well, why would that be, Caffeinated? Well, I'm glad that you asked. I'm so glad, Caffeinated. Just, you know what? I'm glad that you asked that. Let's take a look at why. Oh, this is why. Because Donald's at 3.2 million. And it's going to be going past 15 million. At 15 million, the beard is gone. For those of you that are laughing, thinking, that's not going to happen, listen, I'm just letting you know. Politify is where it's at. Politify. We are the Trump token on the TON blockchain. And if you haven't noticed, TON has been an absolute banger of a call from your boy Keeper. And I'm telling you, the other call is right here. Grab hold on tight. Grab a bag of this. Not financial advice, not telling you anything other than I hold a nice bit of this. I am on the team. I know what the team's doing here. I know what's coming up. Make some money. Have some fun. And then, as always, we got to check in on Jesus. Jesus has been getting smacked a little bit recently. We go back to the last couple days, and we took a nice big dump. But we're at 12.07 million, so we're down a couple million over the last few days, maybe even as much as $3.5 or so million in market cap. But like I said, as always, the liquidity is always right around that $2 million mark, which is fantastic. You do not see somebody show me another token that has a $12 million market cap with $2 million worth of liquidity. This is a good thing. A very good thing indeed. This is hugely, as Donald Trump would say, hugely bullish. Really bullish for that ecosystem, and I just love what they're doing. So, all right, let's kick it off. Let's talk about a little hack that happened, a little DeFi protocol hack. Do not visit DeFi protocols Compound and Seller hit with wallet drainer attacks. Both the Compound and Seller sites now redirect to wallet drainer scam pages after a DNS attack that appears to be hitting multiple projects. The websites of Ethereum-based DeFi protocol Compound and multi-chain interoperability protocol Seller Network have both been compromised, with their respective front ends both currently redirecting visitors to a page that drains the funds from connected wallets. Compound is a DeFi protocol that allows users to borrow crypto and provide loans by locking their assets. Pseudonymous on-chain sleuth Zach XBT first reported the apparent attack via his Telegram channel, alerting of a potential hijack. An hour later, Web3 security tool Harpy furthered this claim, stating that the site now redirects to a page that drains wallets that connect. Compound eventually confirmed the attack itself, stating that its website had been compromised. Now, This is tough, right? Because there's a lot of things that you can do and just be really stupid in the crypto space and make decisions that are just ignorant, right? Just clicking on random links, etc. Right? But let me give you a few tips that we could go over here. Hold on a second? Did I close that screen? Yeah, I had to go over. Okay, there you go. So number one, obviously avoid visiting compromised sites, right? Don't visit websites or protocols that are under attack. So we know that that's happening right now. Don't go there right now. Number two, use security tools, people. Employ Web3 security tools. That's going to help you monitor and protect your wallet from unauthorized access. Okay. Right. We're in a Web3 era. We're in crypto. Protect yourself. Number three, verify the URLs. Always double check the URLs of DeFi protocols that you interact with to ensure that they are correct and secure. Too many times it's really close, but it's not it. Or you see that a redirect happens and it's like, wait a minute, there should not have been a redirect there. Boom. Step back, leave it alone, sit back, sit on your hands, just like a trade that you shouldn't be trying to jump into. Number four, obviously, this one, stay informed. Follow updates from official protocol channels for any security advisory like what they just gave, right? All of those are important things to do in protecting yourself, right? You want to protect yourself. And listen, there's also just some really common sense things here. This is actually going to so this sucks because if you use that DeFi protocol and you just think that you're jumping on and it's something that you've been using and blah, right? That's scary because you're comfortable with it. You've been using it. Maybe you've been using Seller. Maybe you have been actively, using Compound. And so you jump on, maybe you're in the middle of doing something, you don't pay any attention, it redirects, and you're like, oh, maybe the website had an update, whatever. Okay, connect wallet, and all of a sudden, boom, gone. So please, 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 if you're ever connecting a wallet, make sure everything feels or looks like it's on the up and up. Please double check that. And then also, don't click links. I get emails from people offering sponsorship opportunities in particular all the time. Multiples every single day. And if they ever send me a link, I don't care who it's from. I'm like, hey, I'm not clicking the link. Just let me know, some information on what you've got going on. I'll find the website. I'll go to it. I'll check it out. And then we can maybe have a chat. Right. Too many times, my buddy texted me yesterday and showed me a message that said something about his Robinhood account, that there was $1,000 sitting there waiting for him and he needed to do X, Y, and Z. And I don't know why he gets I don't get these scammy offer stuff as deep as I am in the crypto space. I'm surprised, but he always gets these. So I don't know if he's clicked on something at some point or did something that he shouldn't have done. But pay close attention because the website will be a little bit off. You check the email. Like there's always some sort of something there that'll be like, And if you go, back away. Back away. All right. This is tongue-in-cheek. This is satire here. Enrique says, I always connect my wallets to websites that pop up when using you-know-what hub, right? In fact, you should always use the same computer for crypto and web surfing. Yeah, you should do the opposite of that comment. And he knows it. He knows it. All right, so what else is going on? Let's talk about MicroStrategy. Obviously, MicroStrategy has been huge in the crypto space with all the Bitcoin that they hold, right? So they're going to do a 10-for-1 stock split after amassing $13 billion in Bitcoin, billion with a B. Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor's software firm will split its stock after MSTR, that's the ticker, more than tripled in price over the last year. Let's talk about it. This move is designed to make the ballooning stock more accessible to investors and employees, the firm said in a press release. MicroStrategy's stock, MSTR, has more than tripled in price over the last year and currently sits at a price of $1,406, up nearly 8% today amid the news. Now, you might be thinking, like, why would a stock pump from the information that there's a stock split? Well, let me just tell you this. Historically, right? Historically, when a stock split happens, there's going to be a lot of people that here's the idea, right? When somebody looks at Bitcoin as an example, it's $60,000, right? It's 57 and some change right now, but whatever. It's $57,000. And somebody looks at it and says, wow, I can't afford that. What am I going to do with that? I can't do anything with that. Well, it's the same idea with the stock market. When you look at, Amazon or Apple or something that's thousands of dollars, MicroStrategy, over $1,000. And people are like, man, I can't buy very many shares with that, right? Now, here's the reality, okay? The reality is really simple. Whether you're buying a penny stock or something that's super high net worth, right? You still have the same opportunity, right? Depending on what the setup of the company and or tokenomics look like. But you've got to understand the back end of that. You can't just jump in just because it's cheap. You can buy Shiba for well less than a penny, and it's never going to hit a penny. And in your mind, you're like, I've got trillions or billions or hundreds of billions of Shiba Inu. And when this thing goes to a penny, no, right? No. Take the number of where it's at, look at the market cap, where you think it could go. You're going to be able to triple up your money. You're going to be able to quadruple up your money. You're going to be able to double up your money. You're going to go up 15%, whatever that number is. It's the same type of idea, whether it's really expensive or inexpensive, but it feels different, especially to more inexperienced investors on the front end. If the stock feels more accessible, it has a lower price. It's part of the reason why people like some of the doing these stock splits, right? So they announced this stock split to make shares just more accessible to investors and employees. It followed a significant increase in their price, right? By lowering the price per share, they're going to attract that broader range of investors, right? Obviously, that's going to enhance liquidity and marketability of the stock, right? So ultimately, they're doing this just to make it feel better for people, and people know that when these splits happen, it's better for people because they can't. And in the stock market, it's different than in tokens, right? You can buy parts of tokens depending on where you're buying. A lot of times you can't buy fractional shares of stock. I don't know if that's across the board. Let me look at that because I don't remember. Some online brokers allow investors to buy fractional shares, which are partial shares, well, obviously purchased for a dollar amount. It says they can be a good way for new investors to get started, or for those limited budgets to access the stock market. They can be also used to diversify a portfolio, potentially, reducing their risk. But everybody won't let you do it, and so that's part of the reason in the stock market. I think it's a smaller amount of the opportunities are there to do partial shares than normal. Whereas in crypto, you can just buy little pieces, parts of stuff, and see what happens. So that's what MicroStrategy's got going on. Let's talk about this SAB 121 bill, right? Because this thing is all jacked up, and I've got a lot of thoughts on this of what's actually happening here, right? Let me zoom in on this a little bit. What is the SAB 121 bill? SAB 121 stands for the Staff Accounting Bulleting 121 bill, introduced by the SEC. It was introduced March 31st, 2022, and has been in the act for 2 years now, before the U.S. House of Representatives momentarily approved HJ RES 109 to overturn. As per the bill, crypto companies are mandated to record the customer's crypto holdings on their balance sheets as liabilities. The SEC has introduced it as a significant measure to guard against the risks and uncertainties that come with crypto holdings. All right. Here's what happened. Earlier in May, the House and Senate gathered to vote on this resolution to discontinue the SAB 121 bill and favored the other with a majority. Initially, the House voted 228 to 182, with 228 in favor, in which the majority was Republicans and 21 Democrats. By the next week, the Senate votes were also out, where 60 voted in favor and 38 rejected. A few Democrats, like Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senate Majority, and others, were in favor. However, a veto overruled everything, which also questions how the crypto regulations will look in the future when bill fails to obtain superiority here. All right, so let's dive into this a little bit, okay? There's some problems that I see in this, and part of it's obviously governmental overreach, right? But then it's also going to be bad things for some of these banks, et cetera. So, all right. So let me talk to you about the reasons why supporters would not like this bill, right? Number one, increased liability, right? This bill mandates that these companies record the customer's crypto holdings as liabilities. That puts a financial strain on these companies. So of course, the crypto companies are going to say, what? How am I going to record somebody else's financial holdings of an asset that we have either created or own or whatever as liabilities on our balance sheet? No, hell no. It makes no sense to me. 2, regulatory overreach. We've been dealing with the SEC's BS for long enough, right? It could limit the SEC's involvement, which some believe is excessive. Also, what does it do? I think it stifles innovation. It has to. The SEC has been stifling innovation for years now, pushing against. And people are saying, screw it. I'm just going to get out of, I'm just going to go ahead and get out of the United States. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, I can't live here and operate a business the way that I want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and scoot on over somewhere else and take my money elsewhere. Right? Crypto independence in the house. Good to see you. And Burke is on fire. Put him out. Good to see you guys. I'm glad that you're here. All right, let's talk about what else. So this one's kind of goes both ways for me. It's restrictive on the banks, right? So this bill restricts banks from offering crypto custody services is effectively what it does, which is going to hinder the adoption and integration of crypto. So people that support this are going to be like, nah, that's not good. It's restrictive on the banks. Now, on the other side of that, on the other side of this one is it's like, well, the banks are also really restrictive on us. And the banks have been pushing against crypto for a while here. So I guess the question for you is, do you want to let a bank custody your crypto? I don't, but I'm old school with my crypto. Some people like that. They feel like it's a security measure. I don't know. Not for me. It's not. But for other people, it might be. So if you're somebody that says, hey, I trust and believe in my bank, I think I find security in that. I'd like to let the bank custody my crypto. First of all, I love you, but I think you're nuts. I don't trust these banks at all. That being said, if that works for you, fine. Then obviously you might not agree with that. And then number 4, market instability, right? It's going to introduce financial instability and uncertainty in the crypto market. Period. Point blank, period. Anytime there's a big fat question mark as to what's happening for companies in the crypto space, it's a downhill effect, right? They say crap rolls downhill. Well, if these companies have to start putting our assets on their balance sheet as liabilities, how do you think they're going to be able to continue to pay for things and take care of things, right? I just read this comment. You caught me, bro. Well, the word's out. Word's out on the street now. You got me. Damn it. I didn't think anybody was going to catch that. This is a good one, Crypto Independent. I'm proud of you. So yeah, so the ultimately, if there is whenever there is questions in the space where like, what way is this going to swing? People usually will try to sit on the sidelines, and that includes businesses. And if businesses have question marks, they're either going somewhere else, or if they're going to be involved, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to charge more money for it. Think about what's happening in just everyday life right now, right? Everything that you do at the grocery store, for example, is more expensive, right? If you own your own business, you got to pay for all your damn groceries. Guess what? All of a sudden you're writing up quotes and you're looking at these numbers and you're like, wait a minute, I've got to charge more than that if I'm going to continue to be able to make a living the way I need to. It's the same type of idea in the crypto space. So the question becomes, do you support the idea of the companies being limited on what they can do financially and then bear the brunt of whatever decisions they make on the tail end that negatively affect you? Or do you want to go the other direction with it? Right? Or like Crypto Independent, do you want to swing both ways? I mean, I don't know. That's to each their own, but 2024. So you do you. So that's kind of the overview on what's happening there with that bill. Of course, Sleepy Joe, vetoed the bill, and now it's got to get a 2/3, if I'm not mistaken, a 2/3 support to basically override his veto. That's what has to happen. Actually, I know that's right. That's what has to happen. Let's talk about Bitcoin. First of all, smash that like if you haven't already. If you guys are just coming in, super excited about Trading Wars starting next Monday, or this coming Monday. So like 4 days from now. 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to give you the lineup, guys. Let me give it to you. I've talked to you about it a couple times, but we got some different names on here. So Evan Aldo, Crypto Crow, Trade Intuition, Crypto Face. He's going to be the Gulag Monster. Trade Fly, Crypto Blood, FD White, Blockchain Crusader, More Light, who's the guy that Ben fought, Johnny Crypto, and I've got one more special secret person that I believe is going to be letting me know later today that they can jump in, and I'm hoping that they do. So that starts next Monday. Also, Flipper Hodl, all your super chats, guys. I'm putting you on the wheel. I do not know when I have the next sponsor for Flipper Hodl, but if you do put in those super chats, I've got my chart up, my little worksheet that has all the names on it. So I will toss you in there if you guys want to give some super chats. I will toss you on the wheel, and I'm gonna 2x whatever it is that you give. So just letting you guys know. And then when it gets to the day of, I'm not going to do the double or the triple or the quadruple or quintuple or whatever. I'm just going to do 1 for 1 on your dollars versus how many times you're on the wheel, because it started to get ridiculous. There's so many names on the wheel. It was just getting wild. Somebody was putting $20 and they were having 100 their names 100 times on the wheel, and I was like, man, this is a whole lot of extra. The percentages are still going to be the same if I bring this back, but you know. Caffeinated says, well, I started to show it. Well, our government says inflation's going down. I have a business and things are still going up. Yeah, okay. Enrique said the minority leader will all the Dems block it. For instance, for the SAVE Act recently, all Dems voted to table it. However, it proceeded forward. Then the minority leader gave permission to fight. Dude, our government has all of these ways to, distract and sidestep. They say that a lot of these are ways to balance and make sure that there's, fairness and this, that, and third. A lot of times it's just a way for the government to present something to you in one way, knowing what's going to happen, and then say, I got a backdoor for that. So smash that like if you like the backdoor, I did remind everybody this stream is not always for children. Sorry. Bitcoin could boom if U.S. recession worse than projected, says analyst. Bitcoin could keep pushing after the release of CPI and squeeze up to $1 billion of shorts under the $60,000 mark. Let's talk about it. In a confluence of economic factors, the United States appears to be headed for a stronger than anticipated recession, which could force the Federal Reserve's hand on, drumroll please, rate cuts. I swear to God, if you get this right, Patriot Caveman, I'm going to be so freaking impressed. According to Valentin Fournier, an analyst at BRN, the scenario, while grim for the broader economy, holds potential for a significant Bitcoin rally, pushing the cryptocurrency past previous highs, he wrote in a research note shared with Decrypt. At the time of writing, the Bitcoin price is trading at 58,120, down about 1.1%. It sank to a 24-hour low of 57K in early Asian trading hours, according to CoinGecko. Despite this recent downturn, Fournier is optimistic about Bitcoin's future. He says Bitcoin is not yet fully out of its downward trend, as it experienced a slight correction during U.S. trading hours, a recurring pattern over the past few weeks, which is exactly what I've been telling you guys about this range. Fournier pointed out the comments from the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, who made his semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress this week, said the Fed needs to have greater confidence that inflation is moving towards 2% before initiating rate cuts. You got to be able to read between the lines, people. Listen to what he's saying. We need greater confidence that we're moving towards that. Well, how do they manipulate and play with our money? Well, they either print money or do rate cuts, right? Or, one way or another, they're manipulating the dollar. Incoming data for the first quarter of this year did not support such greater confidence, Powell said during his testimony on Tuesday. The most recent inflation readings, however, have shown some modest further progress, and more good data would strengthen our confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. The cautious stance from the Fed suggests that rate cuts are not imminent and will be executed carefully. That's my problem, Patriot Caveman. They a lot of times don't want to. Sorry, I'm fixing my camera there a little bit. They a lot of times don't want to broadcast what it is that they're doing, right? They want to keep their aces, up their sleeve, right? And not let you know. because people will trade off of it. People, the average person will make money off of it, and they want all their big time homies, cronies to be able to, make money off of it. Is what it is, right? But the rate cuts at some point are going to have to happen. It is that and money printing are the only two ways that they can manipulate the dollar, and the dollar's in trouble right now, and that's just a fact. There's no getting around that, right? So when it happens, I don't know. I'm just rooting for Patriot Caveman because he's been calling this for months now. July rate cuts. I don't know. But it is going to happen. There's no doubt about that. And when it does, it's bullish for Bitcoin. Also, the economy going into the tank because of macroeconomic factors, including the dollar, also bullish for a decentralized asset like Bitcoin that has now been presented to the people by BlackRock and all the huge institutions, and validating the fact that it's the real deal. Holy mackerel. Thank you very much, Profit Bear. I haven't even read your super chat. I just saw that it was $100. That is a huge blessing. So thank you. He says, let's make it double. And how much do you need to sponsor? Just say it was Jesus. Haha. Much love, y'all. Eyes on the king. We give because he gave first. Do good, give more. Profit Bear, I love you. I appreciate you. That was very generous. Thank you so much. That is definitely a way that you guys can support the channel. And Profit Bear, Profit Bear also just made a huge move. Maybe didn't even know it, but Profit Bear, I got to tell you, you just made a huge move on the wheel. Okay. You just put your name on the wheel, Profit Bear, 100 times. Actually, no, I'm doubling it today. 200 times. Okay. And let's just be fair, the super chats have been, really slow. They have been slow. Let me go down here. Boom, boom. I gotta finish putting your name on the wheel freaking that many times. Boom. And I'm almost done, but I'm getting towards what I'm trying to say here. Boom. There we go. Profit Bear, you are all over that wheel. The next time we play, it's going to be for like over $6,000, right? So your name is on that wheel a couple hundred times. So I will. So Profit Bear, normally as a normal course of action, I have to have a sponsor to do Flip or Hodl. If you haven't seen the game show, it's like Deal or No Deal mixed with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I normally do them on Fridays, but I have to have a sponsor to do it. So I don't have a sponsor lined up for this Friday, for tomorrow, and I don't have one lined up right now. Right. So just make sure, because the rules are you got to be there, right? Even as generous, and the fact you're talking about my boy Jesus, my homie, you got to be there, right? So make sure that if nothing else, you're paying attention for Fridays, because that's when I do that's when I spin that wheel. Well, that's when we play the game, and then we spin said wheel. But Profit Bear, thank you. That was a blessing. I appreciate you. Yeah, so I got sidetracked by the generous blessing from some of the Jesus coin community. I was talking about Jesus coin earlier today, by the way, Profit Bear. I've been talking about it every day. I don't know if you heard me earlier or if you were here, but I've been checking in on the charts. Jesus coin down a little bit, but I'm as bullish as ever on my boy, on Jesus himself. Yeah, so the recession, bottom line, kind of wrapping up what I was saying, the recession in a really backwards way could be really good for us Kryptonians, as I like to call people in the crypto space. Right? It really could be. But then again, right, with pleasure comes pain. And there's going to be a lot of different things happening that are going to be painful in a recession as well. So I guess my suggestion from being in the crypto space, from being in just the finance space all the way around, an investor, stock market, all of that good stuff, is listen, I'm not here to give financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor, but you've got to be diversified, folks. You have to be, because if Bitcoin goes against us and you're all Bitcoin, you're screwed. If the stock market goes against you and you're all in on the stock market, you're screwed, right? Or at least for some period of time until it turns back around, right? If you're all cash and the stock market or Bitcoin takes off and you didn't have any action, right? Any skin in the game, you're not, I guess, screwed in that manner, but it hurts. The dollar keeps getting devalued. as you've got all your mattress money that's just literally getting devalued month over month over month when you could be actively earning. People cannot save their way to retirement anymore. Investing is now cool. There's a reason that there's people watching this show and other shows, because investing is like the cool thing to do. I always talk about how if I was at a college party and I started, so I'm 40. If I was at a college party and started talking about my investment portfolio 20 years ago, I can tell you this, I'm not getting laid that night. I'll tell you that, right? It just wasn't the thing to do at that point, but it's cool now, which I think is really good. But at the same time, that, you know, you've got to do your extra due diligence, because people try to take advantage of that as well, because there's so many people that view the stock market and crypto as more of a casino, as we've seen with the meme coin space, right, than they do as an actual opportunity for a longer term, you know, goal of, let's just say, retiring. But the facts are simple. In this economy, the way things are right now, you cannot save your way to retirement the way that your parents and grandparents did. Right? That's it. That's it. So, you know, just diversify. Crypto Independent says buy altcoins, use Bitcoin as an indicator. Altcoins is where life-changing money is. You got less than a year to accumulate. Yeah, Crypto Independent. What you're saying for someone that's brand new coming in, yes, because you're not going to be able to see as much price appreciation in Bitcoin as you're going to see in the alts. Keep in mind something though. These alts have been acting incredibly different because of the meme coin space is my understanding. It's not even my understanding. It's my opinion, but it's what I see happening. Right. And so understand whatever altcoins you hold, the level of conviction at which you have and the opportunity that you believe. You've got to be able to look at, what's this market cap? What's the tokenomics look like? What's the project actually doing? What's the team look like? You need to be able to rattle off and know, especially if you're going to have big money and high conviction in something, because these markets get wonky. They get crazy. And I'm telling you, when you build up to, when you build a 7-figure or more portfolio and you look at and you check out your portfolio and you see this thing moving by hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day, it's disgusting. It's like, woof. 6-figure portfolio moving by tens of $1,000s in a day. Woof. Right? It'll make you sick. But you stick with that if you have true convictions. If you're just coming in rolling dice, it's a good chance you're going to bail and you're going to look back and say, I got screwed by crypto, when you didn't get screwed by crypto. You didn't do your due diligence and truly understand what you were buying and have the conviction level to be able to hold. That's not that holding is always the answer. Taking profits is also the answer along the way. So as I'm always telling you, set up that game plan, have an accountability partner, execute on the game plan. And if you're not going to execute on the game plan, talk to your accountability partner to make you execute on the game plan, because you had the game plan that reason, that set up that way in the first place for a reason, for your future. Period. End stop. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right, guys, it's Thursday. I am wrapping up. Hey, I'd love to meet you guys, right? So if you want to go to the Bitcoin conference, I want to remind you again, Nashville, 25th through the 27th. If you're near there, or if you want to fly in, hit me up on Telegram. Let me know that you're going to be there. It's at The Real CryptoKeeper, spelled out. I would love to link up with some of you if you're interested, or if you're going to be there. Would love to do that. I enjoy meeting people. I have people at conferences all the time call me Keeper. I've never seen them before, you know, and it's fun. It's interesting to see somebody and talk to somebody that's been in your stream. You know, I've done that at a lot of conferences and run into people and they tell me who they are. And I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, blah, 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 whatever. It's just nice. I love people. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Question everything. Trust nothing except for your boy Keeper and Jesus. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon.